war against drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking continues. The war against illicit drugs is not a campaign with an end date. It is a generational responsibility. For every cartel we dismantle, intelligence tells us another will attempt to rise. For every corridor we shut down, traffickers will search for another route. Our task, therefore, is not to declare victory. It is to remain relentless. I should seize this opportunity to thank Mr. President especially for his continued support and encouragement to the agency.
Mighty God. To start off, we'd like to invite statistics to please give us the welcome address. Can we put our hands? Non-governmental organizations here present. Ladies and gentlemen,
I extend my heartfelt congratulations. Your recognition across the agency. Thank you, Your Excellency. Your dedication, innovation, and shared commitment.
Upon our Friday.
Below Juicy. Below Juicy.
Shadrach Emmanuel Iko.
The dismantling of the Ahmadi Simon drug cartel. This is a drug cartel led by a Nigerian based in Switzerland that had for too long operated with the confidence of impunity. That confidence is gone. It is gone because officers of this agency decided it would be. Working diligently over several months with our partners, the United States Drug Enforcement Agency, and law enforcement agencies of France, Greece, and Switzerland, we took Ahmadi and his cartel down. Second, the takedown of two Nigerian-Mexican methamphetamine cartels operating deep within the forests of Ogun and Oyo states. Let that sink in. Forests chosen precisely because they were assumed to be beyond our reach, transformed instead into the very grounds of these cartels' undoing. These were not simple, ordinary raids. They were the product of patient intelligence gathering, cross-border cooperation, and officers willing to go where the criminals believed no one would follow. Third, the disruption of the Tramadol cartel exploiting the Togo-Benin Republic-Nigeria corridor, a route that has for years fed a crisis of opioid abuse among our youth. That pipeline has been struck at its source, and I commend every officer, every informant, every stakeholder that made this possible. These are only three among many. They are the operations that will be remembered, but they stand on the shoulders of countless other successes, the seizures that did not make headlines, the arrests that happened without fanfare, the daily discipline of officers who show up, do the work, and ask for nothing in return. It is in recognition of that spirit that today we commend all the officers in front of us, over 200 of them, for outstanding performance in the discharge of their duties. We bestow special commendation on 9 officers whose conduct went beyond the ordinary demands of duty into the realm of the exceptional. And we honor 18 commands that distinguish themselves as the very best across different theaters of our operations nationwide. To every one of you being recognized today, you did not do this work for applause. I know that. But I also know that recognition, when it is earned, matters. It tells the officer still out there in the fields that the agency sees him. It tells the young narcotic assistant or agent watching from the back that this uniform stands for something. So wear this honor well. Let it be the fuel that will drive you further. This is not the finish line. Now, let me speak to what makes this 12th edition truly special. For the first time in the history of this ceremony, we are extending our recognition beyond the ranks of this agency. Today, we honor 11 non-governmental organizations and 8 media platforms alongside their reporters for their outstanding support and unwavering commitment to our shared war against substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking. This matters, and I want to explain why. The fight against drug trafficking and substance abuse was never going to be won by enforcement alone. It is won in the communities where NGOs quietly walk young people back from the edge of addiction. It is won in the newsrooms where journalists chose to tell the difficult stories, the stories of trafficking routes, of rehabilitation, of families rebuilding, even when those stories were not the easiest to tell. Our partners in civil society and the media have been the multiplier effect on everything this agency does. You have taken our message into homes, schools, and communities that our uniforms alone could never reach. I must, however, be honest with you. We are fully aware that hundreds of other NGOs, civil society organizations, media platforms, and other stakeholders across this country are equally deserving of this recognition. Today's list is not and cannot be exhaustive. Let it therefore be known that this is the beginning of a tradition, not a closed chapter. In subsequent editions of this ceremony, we shall continue to identify and honor more individuals and organizations whose work stands shoulder to shoulder with ours. To those not on today's list, therefore, your work has not gone unnoticed. Your recognition simply awaits its moment. As I close, let me say this plainly. The war against illicit drugs is not a campaign with an end date. It is a generational responsibility. For every cartel we dismantle, intelligence tells us another will attempt to rise. For every corridor we shut down, traffickers will search for another route. Our task, therefore, is not to declare victory. It is to remain relentless. To the officers of the NDLEA, let today's honorees be your standard, not your ceiling. I should seize this opportunity to thank Mr. President especially for his continued support and encouragement to the agency. To our partners in civil society and the media, let today's recognition be an invitation to go further with us, not a reward to rest on. And to those who still believe Nigeria is fertile ground for this illicit trade, let the record of this past year and the officers standing before you today be your answer. I congratulate every recipient of an award or commendation this morning. I thank your families who carry the weight of your service in ways the public rarely sees. And I thank all Nigerians who continue to place their trust in this agency. The war against drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking continues.